Sometimes rematches serve a purpose in boxing, and that's definitely going to be the case this coming Saturday on the undercard of Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, when we'll see a return bout between Beck the Bully and Gabe Rosado, who fought a pretty darn good match against one another in June of 2021. So they are going to grace the ring with their presence once again on the undercard of this highly anticipated matchup between Garcia and Davis. And I have to say, it's going to be interesting because these two men have no love lost between them, seeing that Rosado stopped Beck the Bully in their first go around. But we'll talk about it a little bit more and see what is in store for these two combatants when they face one another again. So let's talk about it. Boxing and rematches. Where have we seen it before? Where guys decide to do it again because they just didn't have enough of one another. This time, Beck the Bully is taking on Gabe Rosado because he wants get back. When they met each other a couple of years ago, Beck the Bully was steamrolling his way through the division. And we're talking about with knockouts. As he was facing his middleweight opposition, he was combing through the division, dropping people with left hook to the liver body shots, taking them out clean. Each and every opponent that felt that shot to the body crumbled to the canvas, as did Gabe Rosado in their fight. Beck dropped that left hook on Gabe, and Gabe took a knee, but he got up and he decided to fight back. And that's when it was on. And typically, it was a storybook type fight, because usually when you have the Beast and he's out there and he's flexing his powers, you usually see that same Beast when someone is able to withstand what the Beast has to offer. Next thing you know, they're able to conquer the Beast. Such was the case in this fight, because the Bully, Beck, he came out, and as I said, after dropping Gabe Rosado with a fierce body shot, Rosado got up and fought back. And in the third round of a pretty darn good fight between the two that saw a lot of ebb and flow and back and forth, Rosado was able to KO Beck the Bully, who was rushing in and ran right into a devastating right-hand punch by Gabe Rosado. These two men, as I said, have no love lost between them. And now Rosado, who is considered a journeyman by record, but still a deadly threat, is entering this fight with his record of 26-16 with one draw and 15 KOs, is ready to do it all over again. And Beck the Bully, with his record of 11-0 and 9 KOs, 11-1 with 9 KOs, is ready to do the same to Gabe Rosado this time, except for making sure that Rosado stays down for the count. In between, these two men have had matches that have put them in opposite directions. Yeah, that's actually true. Gabe has lost his last 3 fights, beginning with after his fight with Beck the first go round, a December 2021 loss to Jaime Munguia, a unanimous decision loss where Gabe showed flashes in that fight that he could win, but he seemed to fade late, and Munguia ended up with a unanimous decision victory. That was followed up by an April fight in 2022 against Shane Mosley Jr. The best that Shane Mosley Jr. has ever looked was against Gabe Rosado in this fight. And Shane won a majority 10-round decision over Gabe. And after that, it was a fight that he took against Ali Akhmadayev. Now, that fight was in September of 2022. And in that fight, Gabe basically lost every round, a 10-round unanimous decision loss. So may Beck the Bully be catching Gabe, at the right time? More than likely. Because as things wear on in boxing, fighters do get old. They get old 2 ways. Gabe Rosado is 37, and the 5'11", 71-inch reach super middleweight, alias King, may be on his way out. And Beck, who's 27, from Uzbekistan, a southpaw, 5'9", with a 70.5-inch reach, and is still aggressive as ever, may be trying to steamroll Gabe in this fight to prove that the first fight was an aberration. But was it really? Seeing the way that Beck ran into that punch by Gabe, he could be reminded of that night, because this is the man that did that to him. That's one key factor in intangible that we don't know. We don't know how Beck the Bully is going to respond to that first loss. And if Gabe is having any type of success, landing the counter shots like he did in this fight, showing his veteran experience, Beck could be in trouble all over again. But I'm willing to believe that that may not be the case this go round. Something is telling me that he's going to have a breakout performance, and he's going to break Gabe Rosado, who's had a very good run in the sport and is a gentleman in the sport. He does great fight breakdowns and fight commentary. It may be time for him to do that full time. But if he's able to be successful against Beck the Bully for a second time, it may be one of those circumstances where you could just say he has the guy's number. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. I really do believe Gabe, who is on a string of losses, needs to be able to turn back the clock. And with the number of fights that he's had, some very hard and grueling, and a couple of decisions that should have gone his way, will he be able to pull this out? I'm pulling for him, but I do have to go with Bektemir, because I think that Bektemir is the fighter that's going to prevail here. And it's not so much that he's so much better than Gabe. It's just that he has seen fresher days. And that means a lot. in the sport of boxing. The fresher the fighter, the youth, the less fights, it's going to prove to be something for Beck. But what do you think? Do you think Gabe Rosado has enough in his tank just to pull out one more? Or do you think that this is going to be it for him? We'll have to see. But if it's anything like the first fight, they'll steal the show until Tank decides to do his thing in the main event. Let's talk about it further when the fight takes place. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think are the chances that Gabe Rosado can do this to Beck the Bully twice. It'll be interesting if he does. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.